Welcome to class. Namaste. You will notice that I have props sitting close by. Blocks and blankets. And then I have my bum on a bolster. So you can use all of these props in class today. The bolster is probably going to be, it's something that if you have one, you can use it. If you don't have one, then I'll give you options. And if I say bolster, just use your blankets. And the nice thing about the blankets and the bolster is if you are looking at the differences in size, just to give you a really quick, so you can see that the way I have these folded in the long strip is very similar in size. And even the height, I think you can probably kind of see that. Blankets are smushy, so they're very similar in size. Actually, I think you can see, yeah, you can see the width and everything too. So the nice thing about having two blankets is it gives you the ability to recreate a bolster if you don't have one. And remember, I have the blankets in a long strip. I made a joke the other day about how yoga teachers spend at least an entire module on blanket folding. It's true. Especially if you are specializing in yin. So with the blanket fold, the one that is going to create this long strip, you start out with a long blanket, you fold it long ways in half, and then again. And then if you have a much larger blanket, just try to get it down to where you have kind of that narrow strip. And then I love placing this underneath my knees because in this narrow strip, it really has turned into the perfect cushion for my knee injury. All right, so just allowing yourself to come into this. And then again, with the blocks, you will need blocks at some point, maybe foreshadowing. So if you would right now, let's grab a blanket, not a bolster, just a blanket. And then I want you to have a small fold in your blanket. So then that way it's not that full extension. And then we're going to take our tailbones onto that. So you have about an inch of blanket, which will lift your hips just a little bit higher than your ankles. And then if you would just kind of come to a comfortable seat. We'll begin by breathing. I have not done a lot of breathing today, so I need to catch up. So I'm hoping you guys will join me. So if you'll settle into your tailbone, find that comfortable seat, and maybe you want to have your legs long. If you're seated up on something that sometimes is more comfortable, maybe you just want to do like a crisscross applesauce where your legs are gently bent. You can also come into pads of the feet together, whatever works for you, whatever is your comfortable space. And then if you would, remember you are in a safe, comfortable space, hopefully your own home or your own office, so that you are in a space that you've created and influenced. And if you would allow yourself to begin to breathe more deeply, again, take that moment to either close your eyes or have a soft gaze to the floor. And you're just doing those deep, gentle breaths, beginning to notice how you're feeling today, beginning to notice your breath. And maybe it took you a minute to realize that your breath was here. You were going, maybe you need to breathe into your belly. Allow yourself to begin to find your breath. Begin to settle into your hips, allowing your body to release. If you want to take the junk out of the trunk, that's always an option. Your core is engaged as you're seated upright. We're not quite into the movement yet. If you would, just allow yourself to breathe deeply. And then notice as you're breathing, that gentle release that happens just because you're breathing and concentrating. Your shoulders begin to inch away from your ears. You begin to find more openness and expansion in your front body, including your collarbone area, this nice throat chakra, that holds so much for us. Sometimes our voices get cut down, and that is where you need to find your breath. As you breathe into you, with your eyes closed or a soft gaze, begin to notice how your body is feeling today. Is it bringing you any stress? Is it bringing you any discomfort? Maybe your body feels amazing because you've had a great day and things have really gone wonderfully. Good. I'm glad for you. But just notice what your body's bringing. Notice any discomfort or tightness. And then know that your body is asking you to be aware of those things as we move gently today. And then if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, just that gentle sankalpa, your heartfelt intent for how you would like your practice to go. Right now, with your breath beginning to sink and your mind beginning to clear, focused fully on breath and yoga, maybe there's something that's been in the back of your mind that you want to manifest forward. Right now is a perfect time to set that. And then breathe into that intent as if it were already true. So my intention today was to be kind. And I've been reminding myself all day that it's very much like a ripple. As you toss a stone into a pond, the ripple effect of kindness is the same way. It's that very gentle, loving energy that can affect others in ways you didn't even know. And then once you feel that you have set your intent, we'll start in butterfly. If you want to keep your hips on the blanket that we are on, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to put another blanket in front of me, the same height, just so that I have that cushion underneath my ankles. And I've got bony ankles. Nice deep breath. And just notice. Bring the pads of the feet together. And we're going to find that comfortable space where your knees open the most. And I know I say that, and a lot of times you guys don't maybe understand what I'm saying. Your heels don't need to be all up in your business. Your heels don't need to be all the way out. What you need to do is find that place that your hips hinge and your knees are allowed to open a little bit more fully. And then we'll take a nice deep breath to the belly, sitting tall, really rising through the chest as we bring that inhale in. And then your hands are already placed on your lap as you exhale, come gently into your little butterfly, into your forward fold. And notice what your body is bringing to you. Notice each breath. Notice tightness and tension. And also notice, maybe you don't want to go to that fullest extent. Maybe you want to come back. Notice how your body's feeling. Allow your hips to open and your breath to be full. And then begin to ease gently forward. We'll spend a few minutes in this pose. So notice what that first edge is. The first place that your body resists and says, maybe not today. For me, it came in a very interesting place. Usually I feel it in my injured knee. Today I felt it in my opposite knee. And so I'm like, maybe I should be more aware. Please listen to your body. Please be aware of you. Know that in butterfly, you can always use other props as well. And again, you don't have to be up on blankets like this. If you'd like a little bit more space, it's always nice to come into the blocks and allow your forearms to release. Maybe you'd like a block in front of your feet and you're finding it there. Your yoga. This is your yoga. And as you focus again on breath, not allowing any negative thought to come in, believing in that power of positive thought, that gentle creation of the reality you want, being the change in your own world. And then notice when things start to become uncomfortable, bring your attention, your thoughts to the places that give you that pushback and allow your body to breathe in and release just a little bit more. Maybe just releasing is fine. Maybe you don't need to go fuller into your extension. Maybe it's just the ability to release where you are is what you needed. Yoga is truly a metaphor for life. It's one of those situations where you can take almost every yoga class and turn it into a life experience. It's one of the reasons I love it so much. Keep breathing. We have a few more moments here. Always bring your attention back to breath if something becomes discomfort, brings you discomfort. And if something gives you a sharp pain, you need to ease right out of that right away. Come right back on out. Always come out as gently as you go in. Always listen and be aware. And if you're like me and you chose being kind as your sankalpa, your heartfelt intent, then know that whatever movement you're making is kindness to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. With your next exhale, we're going to come slowly back. Just walk those hands back towards the torso. And then if you would, set your blocks aside. Take the legs long in front of us. Just take that moment to make sure that everything is comfortable. Move your ankles, move your knees. Breathe into your body. And then you'll notice that I have curled the blanket underneath my knees. My feet are going to stay about, mine are a little bit wider, but about hip width apart. You can zipper your knees up here if that feels better to you. But find that comfortable halfway in between. Again, you can have cushion under your knees if you'd like. We're still on the blanket for our hips. We'll take a nice deep inhale here. Blocks come back next to the knees. So you see I've got the blanket, then the block, and they're right next to each other. Hands come to the block, flex the toes back towards the torso, and then take a nice deep inhale as you begin to lift from your tailbone through your spine, lifting through the back of the neck and the crown of the head. And breathing deeply here. Making sure the toes are flexed back towards the knees. If at any point you start getting a leg cramp, please just let it go. let your ankles fall open. Your arms are extended, hands reaching out to the blocks. Maybe they're not on blocks, maybe they're just on your shins. That's absolutely fine. Find your space and breathe deeply into it. With your exhale, we'll release this. You might need your blocks again. I would place one on the right side, one on the left. We'll go ahead and remove the blanket out from underneath our knees. We're going to come into deer next. I'm going to leave a little cushion for my right knee, so just so you're aware. And then we're going to come off of that blanket that you were on with your hips. So go ahead and just set that aside. We'll take the right shin forward so it's parallel with the top of the mat, and the left shin so that it's parallel with the top of the mat. So right shin, left thigh. And then you've got that nice square space here. Just a little example kind of gives you an idea. Nice square space right here. And then again, I mentioned you could use blocks here. I have a blanket underneath my knee just to give me that extra cushion. And then I'm going to place a block here beside me to help my body extend upward. Now you may end up with a little bit of a cramp here on that left side. Just modify so you find where your body wants to be. And then know if you want a little bit more, that back shin is moving out so that you're feeling that 90-degree angle. I think Nicole calls this 90-90. For me, it's deer. I guess it depends on our lineage. She's a little bit more movement-based where I'm more yin. But if you find the space and just begin to notice, Nicole, if you're listening, we'll have to actually discuss that one out. I was just thinking about it the other day. You can also flex the toes back towards the torso to create a little bit more resistance in those hamstrings. And just notice how your body's feeling. Left arm's just hanging out. It can go wherever you need it. It can sit in your lap. It can come next to you. Whatever feels good. The coolest thing about me talking this whole time is you didn't realize we'd already been in this for almost 2 minutes. Keep breathing, just a few more. And then your next exhale, we're unwrapping here. So let's bring both legs long in front of us. Take a nice deep breath. You still got your blankets available if you need them. Rotate your ankles, move your knees, just a little counter posing here. Nice deep breath. If you grew up in the 80s, a poser was not a good thing. So that always just cracks me up whenever some of the words have morphed into other things. So again, we're going to come into that 90-90 or your deer. And again, you're bringing that right shin out if you want more. You've created a nice little square here. Left shin and right thigh are both parallel to the top of the mat. And then again, you can use a block to help you be tall here. On this side, I need a little bit more space so that I don't stress my knee. So for me, I'm going to do a little bit more of an angle and engage my core and just notice how this feels. Again, your toes flex back towards the shin, so you get that flexion here, creating that nice little resistance between your hamstring and your foot, and then you're allowing each breath to be nice and full. As we do these long holds, always bring your attention to full breath. The breath is the first thing you notice once you've made the shape. Your breath is what you come back to. Your breath allows you to find stillness. Your breath allows you to find peace. Your breath is what's adding energy and strength to your body. Your breath is the key to your meditation. Noticing all the things your body is bringing your attention to, whether it's a gentle pull or a little bit more. Always know that if you need to ease out of something, please do. Your body is in charge. It will tell you what you need. Just a few more breaths, noticing and breathing. Your mind is clear except for thoughts of your heartfelt intent. And then with your next exhale, we're going to unwrap here. Let's go ahead and bring those legs long in front of us once more. Take a moment, rotate your ankles, move your knees, make sure everything is comfortable. You found that space that's needed. Just make sure that you are comfortable. Make sure your hips are not tight. Make sure your knees are not tight. Rotate your ankles and breathe into your body. And then we're going to meet. Actually, let's come to dragonfly first before we do that. So I'm grabbing my little blanket once more, and then I'm going to bring my ankles out to each side. I've got all these props in the way. The props I'm going to use. So again, I've got that cushion. You do not need it. Just take those ankles as wide as they want to go. And then blocks can bring you up a little higher. So if this is where your inner thighs want you to go today, this is absolutely perfect. You always have the option of moving the junk out of the trunk, scooping the belly out of the way. And then you don't have to use blocks. You can use one or two, or I think my favorite one, I've had somebody in class do this before, and I knew that they were tight. So just know that wherever you are taking blocks, bolsters, or even blankets to is just fine. If you need that little extra space, we're going to let the ankles fall open here once more. Notice your inner thighs. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to begin to ease our way forward. So I'm going to start here. My core is engaged, bringing my forearms to the blocks. Your gaze can be towards your fingertips. Allow each breath to be nice and full. Notice you. If at any point you notice that your first edge has released, always feel free to take yourself just a little bit further. That's the nice thing about yin, is you get the opportunity to not only be in your own head, but to notice the things that your body is bringing to your attention. And as you come to that stillness, know that you are in control of your thoughts. If you have something that keeps returning that is possibly negative, know that just by breathing, taking that moment to swipe it away, you can be the master of your own thoughts and let go of things you no longer need. Walk those hands slowly back. Let's come back out. If you've used blocks, go ahead and set them aside. We'll bring the legs long in front of us once more. Counter poses are just as important as the regulars. Move your knees, move your hips, rotate your ankles. Be aware of the space that your body needs. And then we're going to come back to the blanket as a tool. My favorite Facebook meme recently is we've been in quarantine as long as a Tool song. And if you're familiar with Tool, you'll understand. So if not, it's a very long song. So the blanket from the long fold, I fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it again so that I really have a pretty good size space here. And then I'm going to flip it so that I have a little bit. So if you look, this is the side that's going to come towards me, that little gentle slope. And then I'm going to place my chest on this blanket. So you can do the same thing with a block. It's going to give you the same effect. The difference between a block and the blanket is definitely comfort. So just know that blocks are just fine. Blankets are going to be a little bit more comfortable. So once you have that blanket at the top of your mat, you're going to bring your body down so that you feel this right underneath the beginning of your rib cage. You're going to bring those wrists next to your shoulders, and we're going to come into a supported sphinx. So the palms are down, elbows are underneath shoulders. Find that comfortable space. And you really do not have much weight on those elbows. Your arms are just kind of hanging out, and they're more of like a gentle kickstand than they are anything that's holding the weight. And then if you want to wiggle into your hips, please feel free. I always love it when adults wiggle. It's a good thing. And then the tops of your feet can be down or the toes can be curled under, whichever feels good to you. And then if you would, just take your gaze gently forward, maybe to the top of your mat, depending on where you're placed. But really, you're not letting your head fall all the way forward. You're not allowing your head to be that craned back. You're finding that neutral comfort and allowing your body to release right there. And as you settle in, finding that stillness once more, begin to notice the opening in your back body. Begin to notice the support of the front body. So in this pose, your heart is supported and open. Your neck and shoulders are comfortable. If you need to walk those elbows out a little bit further, please do. Really, you don't have much weight on the forearms. They're just gently placed on the ground. And you're breathing deeply into your belly. With your next exhale, begin to wiggle, coming back to awareness. We're going to take the left arm in front of the chest first, right arm in front of the left, and you may need to move your body up just a little bit further onto that blanket or block. Again, your lower rib cage is being supported so it supports your chest. Take a nice deep inhale here. Like I said, left in front, right in front of left, and then we're going to bring those arms into shoelaces. Each breath is nice and full. Again, your gaze is comfortable. Just find that comfortable, gentle space in the front of your mat, that your neck is not craned backward or forward. Palms are down, breath is full. As you breathe into this pose, it's called shoelaces. Again, think about your sankalpa, your gentle, heartfelt intent. How does your breath feel in this pose? Because your chest is a little constricted. Breathe into it. And then with your exhale, we're going to bring those arms back apart. Take a moment, wiggle into the shoulders. Let's bring the hands down to the sides. You're still supported by this blanket. Just take a minute, wiggle into any tightness, move the shoulders, move the neck, breathe into your body. And then we'll come back to Sphinx, elbows underneath shoulders, taking a nice deep breath. We'll switch ways the arms come. The right comes first, left in front, and then we're walking those elbows towards each other. And you're just finding that moment, that gentle stillness, where your head is neutral and your breath is full. That next exhale unwraps you. Take that moment to bring your hands back to the side, wiggle into your body. Bring that hands back behind us, back of the hands is on the ground. Again, you're just taking that moment to move and release, noticing how you're feeling, breathing into it. And then we'll place the hands underneath the shoulders, press up into a full cobra, feel that lift, breathe into this. Don't worry, this is not a 3-minute pose, just a counter pose, getting that space. And then with your next exhale, we'll meet in tabletop. So you can come to all fours first, maybe take a couple of cat-cows. If you'd like to have a blanket underneath your knees for child's pose, right now is a perfect time. I mentioned the bolster. If it was something that you wanted to use, cozy, I know that you're in class. I will message you afterwards. It's been a crazy day, so I will touch base with you. So knees are wide. Take a nice deep breath. If you would like to use a bolster to come into a supported child's pose, it looks like this. If you do not have a bolster and you would prefer not to use a blanket underneath your chest as well, my knees are wide, they're already on the blanket, just come into that gentle child's pose. Each breath longer than the last with the blanket. Noticing your body, breathing into any tightness. Remember, with those knees, they do not have to be at that fullest extension. Just find that comfortable space for you. Remember, if your thoughts begin to wander, bring your attention back to breath. Noticing the length of your inhale, maybe counting it out. Noticing the extent of your exhale, again, maybe counting it out. Your attention is focused fully on breath. Noticing what your body brings to you. With your next exhale, we'll come slowly back, pressing into the palms, bringing your body upward, bringing those knees back together. Let's come in and do some cat-cows here. So you're in tabletop, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale the belly down, head and tail raise. As you exhale, back arches, head and tail tuck. Moving gently with your breath. And then coming back to center, let's do just a few side to sides, giving those hips a little bit of attention, kind of rolling on those kneecaps a little bit, so being aware. And then we'll come back to center. If you'd like to use a bolster for this next pose, you absolutely can, but I'm going to show it with blankets. So if you would grab your long strips of blanket, and you will need two. If you only have one, you can absolutely make do. It's just a difference in how your back and your hips are supported. So again, you remember, this is about the same size as my bolster, and once I put my weight on it, it's going to be a little bit smaller. And I have it set up this way on purpose. If it was just the bolster, it would be the exact same way. So we're going to bring the hands in front of the blankets, knees behind, curl the toes underneath you, come up into downward dog. And just take a moment here, again, just find that space where your low back feels comfortable. And when you feel ready, and this depends on how your body wants to do it, we're going to step that left foot forward and come into pigeon. So you'll notice the blankets are underneath supporting me. And so in yen, this isn't a pigeon, it's a swan. Your knee again has the option of tracking out to the left or coming center, and you adjust the blankets just like you would the bolster to find that support. You don't have to use either one. You can come into just a straight up pigeon, like straight up gangster, straight up pigeon. And then always know that you can use other props, whether it's blankets or blocks or even bolsters, to find just a little bit more comfort in any pose. I don't know that Iyengar was really thinking of yen when he created all of these wonderful props. And that's a yoga teacher lineage, if you're unfamiliar. But I'll tell you, man, props are the bee's knees. They really help. So as you settle in and begin to breathe more deeply, notice how you're feeling. Notice your shoulders, your back, your sciatic nerve, definitely your knees. I didn't see if Sarah was in class, but don't worry, Sarah, it's not a 5-minute pigeon. Notice what your body is bringing. Notice any tightness, any discomfort. Notice how your body reacts to it. There are poses that make me so angry if I'm practicing. I really have to work out what it is that releases. Yin is perfect for that because your mind, your breath, your spirit all come into this wonderful alignment with your body to create that stillness, that peace. And it really helps you allows you to come to terms with what your body's bringing. Oh, and just like that, let's walk those hands on back. You're going to come back into downward dog, pressing into the heels of your hands and lifting your hips, coming back up into your downward dog. Nice deep breath. Well, and just to give you an example, my blankets really didn't move. I mean, here's where my weight was, but from the standpoint of finding that space, they were really right there. For the other side, because of my knee injury, I will not be able to modify that one for you. I need to do it a different way. So please feel free to find your space, your pigeon. When you're ready, we're taking that right knee forward, again, finding that space and propping however your body wants it to be. And you'll begin to know, the more yin you do, the more you practice, the more you're able to find those places where you realize, hey, I'm feeling this where I'm supposed to. I'm being gentle with my body and listening to what it's saying. And I'm also getting that, oh yeah, baby, awesome stretch. I hope it feels that good. Again, find your space. And again, that might be a little bit more forward. You might have the blankets or the bolster underneath your hips. Please feel free to find your space as I find mine. And allow your breath once more to find that stillness, that peace, that gentle inhale. Always bring your thoughts back to breath. If something else distracts you, breath is where you need to be. And just like that, walk the hands on back. Set aside any props that are no longer needed. This time we're going to just bring that left leg around. Come off any props that you've got. If you were on the bolster, you will need to come to downward dog to step out. So whatever you have chosen for you. And now we're in everybody's favorite. So begin to find your space for Savasana. Begin to allow yourself to breathe more deeply. And as you settle in, know that you can use bolsters, you can use blankets, you can use pillows from your couch or your bed. You find the space that is best for you, as always. And just allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to notice the breath. And once you've created your little nest, just really begin to settle into you. This time is for you to absorb your practice, to allow your body to just really settle into all that goodness that you just created and gave it. And as you breathe more fully into your belly, noticing the gentle rise of your chest as you inhale, and that gentle fall of your chest as you exhale. Notice the expansion of your ribs, your lungs, and allow yourself to breathe even more deeply, filling the space that you are in. You have every right to your space and 6 feet around you. You are perfect. You are valued. You deserve the best things because you are you. And as Mr. Rogers says, I love you just the way you are. I didn't look at who came to class today, so I hope I love you guys. I'm sure I do. I hope you're giggling. It's always so funny to not be able to see people and go, well, I made a joke. Hope it worked out. Allow yourself to release. to let go. If you follow me on Facebook, you already saw this today, but it really felt like it resonated to keep my theme throughout the class. My quote is from a woman named Anne Lamott. And Connie, I think you might have already heard this one if you were in class. I thought I saw you twice. Hope begins in the dark. The stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up. Allow yourself to believe in you, in the goodness and kindness and wonderfulness that is you. Allow your breath to be a luxury, something that you savor and enjoy. Begin to notice all of the things your body is bringing to you that are good. That little kink or tightness that class helped work out. And maybe it's not just in your body, it could be in your brain. Sometimes we get that tightness, that unyielding resistance from our brains. Sometimes it's ego, sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's just your body doesn't know what to do with it, so this is how you're reacting. Let that go and notice the good. And then slowly begin to become aware, not only of your breath, but of the space around you. Maybe you want to reach out, stretching out to the sides, maybe up above you. Find some more space for you. And then when you feel ready, please roll to your side and make your way back up. Back to seated, comfortable space. Notice your breath. And let's close by breathing together. If you would, exhale completely. And then we'll inhale together. Exhale. Inhaling together. Inhaling together once more. Exhale. I thank you for joining me today. Namaste.